What was I doing at your age?
Yep.
And you are?
I'm Anastasia, I'm 18 years old.
Okay.
I'm Ryan, I'm 18.
I'm Laura and I'm 18.
Okay, so you're all 18. At 18 years old, I was a freshman in college at Nazareth College in Rochester. And I went in on a biology track because that's where my interests were. And so I loved going to college because it got me out of Beamerville.
Did you know what you wanted to do? Like, did you know you were going to be here?
I did not know that I would be here at Space Farms at that point. It's a family business, more geared towards my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I had originally started going to school to become a veterinarian.
How long has this been your family, this place?
This building, this Space Farms has been in existence since 1927.
Oh, really?
It started with my grandfather who bought a quarter of an acre here.
Oh, wow.
And then Space Farms actually snowballed into what it is today. It wasn't a set plan of any way. It was a business that fed into our interests and our passion and what we enjoy in life, and then we made that into a business.
So what made you go from a veterinarian to come here?
Well, life sort of got in my way. When I was 20, I fell in love and got married, and then I had to, help my husband and I broke off from the family and supported ourselves and needed to make my own way in the world, and I needed money. Needed a job, and then I finished my 4-year degree, and I had to help support myself. So veterinary school got put on the back burner, and then I got older and older and older, and it kind of never got there. I never got there.
What do you do around here? Do you do like a little bit of everything?
What do I do? Okay, well today I'm working on signs, which is part of the educational outreach program here at Space Farms. I help design signs and make signs. I have a little bit of an artistic streak, which I inherited from my grandfather, my father, and my mother. So I have an eye for it. And my husband is mechanical, so he helped me develop the new sign system that we've been using for the last 15 years. I know that's just about older than you guys, but anyway, so the sign system, I've been working on signs today. This is the fall, so there's not a lot of nursery work done. My main job in the spring is to take care of animal infants that need human intervention.
Yeah.
So that's the main part of my job. Now for that, I have continued my education as far as I have my basic degree in biology with a major in zoology. Mm-hmm. And I have used that all of my life at different jobs that I do. But I've taken different courses from Rutgers, and I also work hand in hand with our vet. And I go to different business courses for the business aspect of the business that is offered through Chamber of Commerce, or Rutgers Extension Service has a lot of continuing education classes that I've done also. As far as the animal infants are concerned, I did not learn everything out of a book. And I'll tell you flat out that I learned more from my parents and my grandparents on what to do from them. However, I learned why we do it from a book, more from college. We do it, we do this particular thing. And why do we do it that way? Well, because the nutritional background is there. I learned most of the nutritional background for the animals in school.
Do you have any role models like growing up?
Growing up, my major role model I would say would be my father. Mm-hmm. And every veterinarian that we worked with when I was growing up here at the zoo, because I was here for my first 22 years. And so my major role models were my father, the veterinarians that came here, and naturalists or other people that my father knew, my father's friends and business associates, because they also were in the animal business. So you could learn a lot just by sitting around and having a cup of coffee with them. And they talk about this story and how that animal got them here and there's scars to show. But then you also learn what not to do or how they corrected the problem that was. So when zookeepers get together, there's a lot of gabbing going on that isn't anything to do with weddings or fashion or clothes, or anything nifty.
How do you go about getting the animals that you have here?
The animals that we have here. Most of the animals that we have here were born either here or at another zoo. In 1971, President Nixon passed the Endangered Species Act, which was really wonderful for all of those animals in the wild. But what it did was to severely limit the gene pool of all the animals in captivity. Because part of that act says that you cannot go out, capture an animal from the wild and put it in a cage and call yourself a zoo.
Yeah.
So if you're doing that, then you need to, it's just illegal to do that, so you can't do that anymore. So nowadays, all the babies are traded back and forth. So all of those infants that I spoke about a little bit ago, you might just see it as, oh, it's another little fawn, and there's a gazillion fawns out in the wild, but you can't sell them. You know, you can only trade, barter, whatever, the animals that are born here at the zoo. So those babies are very important to the future of not only our zoo, but to other zoos, because we can trade them back and forth. We sent a buffalo calf to Turtleback Zoo probably 20 years ago, and 15 years ago, they gave us back a white elk. So it's not always a buffalo for a buffalo or a coati for a coati. Sometimes it's a trade that is more, it's like a go fish thing. I've got 2 zebra, do you have a monkey? You know, and we get together usually this time of year because in the fall the babies are all big, you know, ready to go away from mom and more easily transportable when they're smaller, of course, than sending an adult. And also youngsters, young animals will adapt more readily to their new environment than an older one would. All right.
Connie could ask one.
What makes you feel like you had a good day at work?
A good day at work, I'm a very productive person. I like to think every morning I have XXX fly. He got you too, huh?
Yeah.
Every morning I have X amount of things to do on my mental list. And if I can get most of them done, I'm happy. I always end up having one more on my list than I can get done during the time that I'm supposed to be here. And that gives me a purpose to get up in the morning. Yes, like for instance, today I had taken down half of the signs yesterday. The other half of the signs I just finished taking down a little bit ago. I will sort those signs out. A couple days ago, my whole goal was to move all of the parrots from the enclosure up on the hill into this room. And I'm surprised they're not squeaking up a storm right now. They were a minute ago. But, so it really, every day here for me is different because I do signs. In the summertime, I do public speaking. I have infant feedings. I have cages to clean. Doesn't matter who you are or who your father is, you still got a shovel in this place. So I still do quite a bit of the hands-on work with that. A good day for me means I get 9 out of my 10 projects done.
Okay. What about a bad or discouraging day or a bad day?
Discouraging bad days when an animal that you're very close to dies.
Yeah.
That's just the pits, and usually there's nothing you can do about it. If we know they're sick and it's been a while, like I recently had a tiger passed away, and I had raised her since she was the size of a loaf of bread with legs. And in 1998, were you guys even born then?
Yeah.
Okay, because she was 18, and so you guys were born in 1998. Okay, well that's it, your life's done. You know? And she was an old lady. Tigers in the wild live 15 years if they're lucky.
Okay.
In captivity, it's 18 to 22 years. That's mainly because in captivity they get fed every day. There's less stress on their bodies for going to hunt. There's no disease problem or anything like that because we have medical, we provide medical care for all of the animals. They have food and shelter and also a sexual partner. So they really don't have to do much, and they have a kind of an easy life. It is a smaller, confined life.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of 5 miles, they've only got an acre. But, and anyway, so Tara did pass away a couple weeks ago. Again, she was older. I knew that it was in a process because they get arthritis. They get the same problems that older humans get. And she had been having some problems with her kidneys, etc. And then finally, we knew it was going to be any day. And then we went out in the morning and she was passed away. So those kind of deaths aren't so hard to take when you know it's an old animal.
Yeah.
But when it's a special animal and something dumb happens or another animal hurts it,
Yeah.
that's really hard.
Yeah.
And then you still have to get up and you have to be nice to the public when they show up,
Yeah.
because they're coming here for a good day. We always have to realize working in our business, they're coming here for a good time. And they don't want to see a zookeeper that's wailing her eyes out in the back corner. So, you know, you've always got to have that public facade.
Do you have any final words for like anyone who's trying to find their passion or their career?
If you're trying to decide what career to go into, I would say do not focus on the money. Make sure that you find, you know, whatever your hobby is, whatever you enjoy doing. If you enjoy doing one particular thing, then get on a path to incorporate that into your life. I loved working with animals from the time I was a small child, and I did it here all the time growing up. And when I was not at Space Farms for 17 years. During that time, I raised a family and all that stuff, but I managed a pet store, so I was still in the animal business. And I also like the artwork, like I said a minute ago. I have a little artistic streak, and I'm able to incorporate that into this job also. So not only sign work, but I do painting. I paint murals out there. I do some other things like that. So it's between the animals and the artwork, that's my passion. And for young people starting out, figure out what you want to do, how you can apply that to something that may earn you at least some money, enough to keep yourself. Because you can have $5 million, but if you're not happy, it doesn't matter. And if you're spending 90% of your time, well, okay, everybody doesn't spend 90% of their time at work. I spend a lot of time here. If you're spending, 40 hours a week doing it, you want to at least enjoy what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And money's nice. I mean, I don't say anybody should work for free, but make sure that you enjoy what you do, or else you're going to have heart attacks and ulcers and stress-related issues if you don't enjoy what you're doing.
Thank you.
All right.